Hey everyone, what's up? It's your girl, the Venusian Bull, and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, welcome. Hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited because in this series of videos, we are going to be discussing planets in the 11th house. Okay, it's about to get futuristic up in here. All right, we about to be in the future in this bitch. Okay. You know how it is. You know how we do. We're going to do a little introduction video, little cute intro. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to break down the planets in the 11th house one by one. Okay. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, share, and tell a friend, tell many friends, tell a whole goddamn organization. Okay. Because this is the 11th house we're talking about here. All right. Just a little bit of background on the 11th house and kind of the general characteristics. You know, the 11th house is akin to Aquarius. The 11th house is it's very revolutionary. It's very innovative. It's very eclectic kind of energy. It also has to deal with hopes and wishes and dreams, as well as, you know, large groups and organizations and like being a humanitarian and things of that nature. So it's kind of like a wide array of things. And when I go through each of the planets, you'll see some distinct things that I may discuss that I may not discuss in other videos because it'll be, you know, specific to that planet.
All right, so a couple more quick hits on the 11th house. So the 11th house also represents the LGBTQIA community. I think I covered all of the letters in that alphabet. So yes, it represents the LGBTQ plus community. And whether you are a part of this community, whether you're an advocate for this community, whether you have friends that are in this community, or whether you just interact on a regular basis with people in the LGBTQ community, that can be found in the 11th house, that kind of information. And also, this is the house of friends, okay? What about your friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down again? So this is all about friends. So throughout me discussing the planets in the 11th house, and I know that singing was bad, y'all. But anyway, throughout me discussing the planets in the 11th house, I'm also going to discuss what that planet means in terms of how you are as a friend as well. So this is another relationship house, like the 7th house and like the 8th house, but it kind of deals with relationships on a large scale. You know, this is about the collective. It's not about individual relationships or romantic relationships. It's about, you know, your friendships, your platonic, you know, relationships and things like that. And also, you know, any types of, you know, organizations and groups that you may be involved in with like-minded people. So, you know, I just had to get that tidbit in there. You know, I got to be thorough. Okay. Bitch, got to be thorough up in this piece. All right. So, yeah, so I just had to get that in. So stay tuned for more.
And of course, as a disclaimer, I let y'all know that I can be quite literal in these videos. Yes, I'm literal on purpose because I make my videos not only for the people who are experienced in astrology, which the 11th house also represents, but also for the newbies that are coming in. So I want to, you know, make sure that they understand. So sometimes I can be overly literal. However, if you have placements in this particular house, just know that depending on what sign is on the 11th house cusp, what aspects other planets are making to this planet and things like that, it can definitely modify this energy, okay? So take this with a grain of salt. Okay. So these are the general characteristics that I'm going to be discussing as it pertains to the 11th house. I think I covered most of the things. It's not like a whole bunch of stuff, but y'all know how it is when I get into these videos. I start yapping, and a video I thought that was going to be 5 minutes turns into 25. So I'm not even going to say necessarily that these will be shorter videos, but we may be shorter. Also, you know, the 11th house is dealing with everything in the abstract, technology, social media, you know, forward thinking, progressivism, you know, all of that is very much 11th house energy, okay? So without any further ado, we just going to get to it. We just going to get in it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to zoom to the future. Like, all right, I'll see you in 2025. Bye. Hey, you guys, welcome back to another Planets in the Houses series video, doing the 11th house right now. And we are going to be discussing Mars in the 11th house, okay? All right, so Mars in the 11th house is similar to having Mars in Aquarius or having Aries on the 11th house cusp, and Scorpio to a lesser extent. All right, but we're going to get into that kind of Martian energy that's, you know, more of the Aries brand. You know, we'll talk about the Scorpio more when we get to Pluto, like we always do. You know how we do on this channel. All right. So with Mars in the 11th house, there's definitely like a fighting spirit in you. Like it's very much you're fighting for your rights. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting for your freedom. You know, you're fighting for your friends. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting for, you know, the little people, progressivism. You're fighting for yourself. You're just a fighter for the people. You know what I'm saying? And it's so, like, I believe, if I remember correctly, and I don't mention this a lot in these series of videos, but I believe if I remember correctly that Martin Luther King Jr. had Mars in Aquarius. Not Mars in the 11th, but Mars in the Aquarius, but it's similar. So that's giving you an idea of Mars in the 11th house type of energy. Like, you know, we all can't be, you know, MLK, but I'm just saying it can have that potential. It's so like encouraging, and it's that fighter. You got the eye of the tiger, fighter, dancing through the fire, and I am a champion. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like triumphant type of energy. You know what I'm saying? You're probably the head of some organization or group. You know, you're the leader. You know what I'm saying? You lead. You're very power to the people. You're at the front of the picket lines and stuff like that. You might be the people that you're the person that's like right there in front of the cops being like, look, bitch, I'm right here. What you gonna do? You gonna kill another one of us? Like, this is, you got to understand too, that this is Mars energy. This is like, you know, you step to me, you step to my friends, you step to my people, my large, massive group of people. Like, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, this is that energy. And I will say that Mars in the 11th house, that's the friend that you want on your side, okay? This is the friend that's going to defend you, that's going to fight for you, that's going to stand up for you. Like, if you can't stand up for yourself, you know, you're going to call this friend, and they're going to, like, it's different than like a normal, like Mars in Aries or like Mars in a fire house or something like that. Mars in the 11th house, it's kind of like a, what's the right word? A strategic way of approaching, you know, confrontation and conflict. Because, you know, 11th house energy is very smart. It's very intelligent. It's always thinking with the head and not the heart. And Mars energy can be very reactive, but Mars in Aquarius, well, Mars in Aquarius can be, Mars in the 11th house can be reactive because it can be unpredictable, which is all the more reason why it's kind of good to have that kind of energy as your friend, because you don't know how they're going to approach it. But just know that if somebody try to step to you in the incorrect way and you get your Mars in an Aquarius friend to come straighten that shit out, they ain't going to be messing with you no more. It's like something like, it's like a quirky, scary. It's like a quirky, awkward intimidation to people. You know what I'm saying? And it's very, you know, they're kind of presenting themselves in this very like commanding way. And remember I told you when I talked about Mercury in the 11th house, when I talked about the tongue, you know, they got a slick mouth, okay? They got a slick mouth, they got a potty mouth and all of that type of stuff. But They can also cuss you out without even cursing and utilizing their vocabulary. I would say they're great debaters. Anybody with like Mars in an air sign would be like a great debater anyway, but especially I would say Mars in the 11th house, because you're just gonna think outside of the box anyway. And Mars energy just likes to argue. So this is kind of like the perfect position for like debates and panels, especially any type of political type of panels. You know what I'm saying? If you're lucky enough to be in like the political space and you have this placement, you know, you may be one of those activists or just, you know, influencers that's always on, you know, like CNN or maybe some of the independent news media channels that I watch, because I don't watch mainstream media. But what is that girl's name? The activist that kind of came out in the forefront after the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor murders. Oh my God, I forget her name. It's Tamika Mallory. Yes, she gives me Mars in the 11th house because she's like strong and willful, and she's trying to help the people and do it for the people. You know what I'm saying? I think Beyonce mentioned her in the song Black Parade. And a Mars like Tamika, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. There's a lot of words in that song. Okay. So, y'all know I love Beyonce, but that song has a lot of words. Okay. But anyway, but yeah, Tamika Mallory gives me like Mars in the 11th house. Just those kind of like real aggressive, like fighters, like activists. We gonna be in these streets and we're gonna get shit done, okay? Of course, the presence on social media is going to be very, very present, very vast. You know, like I said, you're going to be the ones that are organizing, you know, the marches and the boycotts and the petitions. And anything that you feel is like worthy of talking about when it comes to like discrimination or anything like that, you're front and center. Now, you're going to be particular probably based off of, you know, your identity. You know what I'm saying? So like I said before, the 11th house is very much about the LGBTQ community, but also it's going to kind of be specific to like what sign you have on the 11th house cusp. So if it's Mars in Cancer, it may be more race-based. You know what I'm saying? If it's Mars in Aquarius, it may be more like the LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? If it's Mars in like Libra, it may be about, you know, women's rights and feminists, you know, that type of thing. So, you know, just keep that in mind. That doesn't mean that you are somebody who doesn't support all causes. Or if it's like Mars and Aquarius in the 11th house, you may be more about like worldly, you know, affairs. Like you may be really into being an activist for like what's going on internationally and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of depends on what sign is on the 11th house cusp, what really drives you. And, you know, Mars is all about drive and motivating and aggression and assertion and taking action. You know what I'm saying? And this is actually a really great place to have Mars because you can really be productive. Like you can really make shit happen with Mars in the 11th house. I mean, like you can really be a real revolutionary. This is like the quintessential, like revolutionary, like rebellious spirit. Like this gives me Huey P. Newton. Like this gives me Fred Hampton. Like it gives me Malcolm X. Like it just gives me that energy. Angela Davis. Like this is Mars in the 11th house. So if you know who these people are that I'm mentioning, I mean, hopefully you should know who these people are, but this is like, that's Mars in the 11th house. It's fighting for your human rights, for your rights to, you know, be able to have health care, to, you know, have a decent wage, to, you know, have, you know, reparations from the people. Like, let's not get into that. But yes, for your right to be treated as a human being. That's what it is. The 11th house is about human beings. They're the like ultimate humanitarians and they want equality and they want liberation and freedom and justice for all. Like they really do. Like they really honestly do. I mean, they want it more for their group of people that they're fighting for. Let's not get it twisted. But they're very all-encompassing kind of people. Like, if we get it, then it's gonna spread. Like, we're gonna spread the wealth. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah. So, another thing in reference to like the friends, you know, your Mars and Aquarius friends may be a little bit aggressive. You know what I'm saying? They may be like a little bit too much. Like, you maybe can't always handle them. Like, they may always be talking about their activism pursuits and like, you know, I got to fight for this and I got to fight for this at work because, you know, they didn't give me that promotion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to fight for my right to be the head of the technology division because, you know, technology, social media, the internet, this is where you live, this is where you stay, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's going to be a lot about that. So it's kind of this like, you're kind of like always on 10. It's like you're constantly running a marathon, you know what I'm saying? And it's a competition. So you may even feel like you're in competition with your friends. It's all in good fun, but like, you like, I'm going to win, you know, and I don't know exactly what you're trying to win, but you just want to be like the best activist or the best humanitarian, or you want to have the dopest organization or the best, you know, Facebook group for activism or the best, you know, YouTube channel that talks about political, events and current events and stuff like that, and what you can do, you know, to make people's lives better and stuff like that. You want to be the best at that. You want to be number one in that realm. Okay. So that's kind of the big thing about Mars in the 11th house. To state something that's maybe not so activist heavy about Mars in the 11th house, your aggression is, like I said before, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of like eccentric. So when it comes to sex, because, you know, Mars has to deal with sex too. You know, I have to talk about the sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Mars in the 11th house, this is kind of freaky. Like, y'all are kind of freaky. Like, it's a toss-up. You can be like really freaky or asexual. Like, it's like there's no like middle ground with this. So, you know, let's kind of discuss the freakiness a little bit real quick. So again, the 11th house, we don't care about your sexual orientation. We don't care if you're gay, straight, pansexual, bisexual, trans. Like, we don't care about any of that. We just, are you a good human? Are you a good person? That's all we care about. And, you know, do you like, you know, whips and chains and dungeons? It's like, it's, you know, Mars in the 11th house or Mars in Aquarius is freaky like a Scorpio, but like a little, not quite freaky like a Scorpio. Like, Scorpio is more passionate, freaky. Mars can be like, Mars in Aquarius or Mars in the 11th house can just be kind of like, awkward, freaky, like kind of eccentric. Like, you know, they may be the ones that want to pee on you. Scorpio may want to do that too. It's just like weird. They, you know, they want to like, you know, I don't know, run naked through neighborhoods. I don't know if that's like that crazy, but Mars in the 11th house, like Aquarius energy in general, y'all don't have a problem with being naked. Like, y'all don't have a problem with nudity, like letting it all out there. Like, y'all are not ashamed. Oh, and y'all welcome all body types as well. We are welcoming of everything. So, you know, y'all are probably actually really opposed to the whole like Instagram body thing with the slim waist and the big butt and the flat stomach. Y'all are like, give me some rolls, like give me some juice, give me some fat. Like, I need a little bit of, you know, a little something to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean plastic surgery hold on to, but yeah, Mars in the 11th house can be quite interesting. Just be mindful of, you know, being kind of perverted or being kind of like this peeping Tom type of energy. Don't be a stalker when it comes to these people. And, you know, this is energy that can very much do a friends with benefits situation that doesn't need commitment. Remember, this is the 11th house. This is about friends, like activism, organizations, hopes and wishes. It's not really about intimate relationships. So y'all can really have sex with people and then like that be that. Like, it was good, but I'm moving on. I got a boycott to go to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, well, you don't really go to a boycott. That's the whole reason why you're boycotting, but you know what I mean? Like a protest or something like that. So just be mindful if you like are attempting to get into a relationship with Mars in the 11th house. Remember, always be their friends first. That's key number one. But remember that you may not have a lasting romantic relationship with this person, you know, unless y'all are like really, really equally yoked like that. They're very unpredictable, here today, gone tomorrow, you know, up and down type of energy. You know, so it's the 11th house energy. It's Aquarius energy. It's electric. And then the lights can turn off, you know, and it could be no power. So you never know what you're going to get. So that's kind of the deal with that. But yeah, that's pretty much Mars in the 11th house in a nutshell. I'm actually surprised that I talked this long about Mars in the 11th house. I didn't actually think I had that much to say, but you know how I be yapping. My lips are moving. With your tongue. My voice is like slowly coming back, so I'm doing more singing in these videos. But yeah, so let me know if this information that I provided in this video resonated with you. If you had this placement, sound off in the comments. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to share and tell all of your friends, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.